Representative Pete Sessions, the firebrand conservative from Dallas, Texas, has relentlessly assailed the stimulus law as a wasteful trillion-dollar spending spree that was more about stimulating the government and rewarding political allies than growing the economy and creating jobs.
This is the largest spending bill in the history of America. Nothing even comes close to it. Even the TARP, some of that money, $700 billion, is going to be returned. Every penny of this will be spent adding a $1.2 trillion to the American debt in one fell swoop.
But that didn't stop the Republican lawmaker from reaching his hand out behind the scenes to seek stimulus money for the suburb of Carrollton after the GOP campaign against the 2009 stimulus law quieted down. The affluent city's rail project is shovel-ready, Sessions wrote Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood in February, urging his cabinet agency to give full and fair consideration to the city's request for $81 million in stimulus money, which is according to a copy of the letter obtained by the Center for Public Integrity. Ironically, his letter suggested the project would create jobs, undercutting the very public argument he has made against the stimulus. But as the Center documents in a new study, Sessions was hardly alone. Scores of Republicans and conservative Democrats who voted against the $787 billion American Recovery and Reinvestment Act subsequently wrote letters requesting funds for projects in a massive behind-the-scenes letter-writing and phone call campaign. Those asking for money include Tea Party favorites like freshman Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown and Minnesota Representative Michelle Bachmann, former presidential candidates Ron Paul and John McCain, and Republican congressional leaders like Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. Many Democratic leaders who had boasted they prevented lawmakers from inserting special spending requests in the stimulus law when it passed also engaged in the behind-the-scenes letter writing to secure funding afterwards, including Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. The letters particularly dismay conservative advocacy groups like the Tea Party and Americans for Tax Reform that have been backing Republicans in the fall election, but now see some hypocrisy among candidates they thought were conservative champions of federal spending cuts. Representative Michelle Bachmann, who has become an icon of the anti-spending conservative movement embodied by the Tea Party, has complained the stimulus bill will require massive tax increases to create short-term jobs, and ran a campaign ad this month boasting that she fought against the failed Pelosi trillion-dollar stimulus. But she wrote more than a half-dozen letters to federal agencies on behalf of proposed stimulus grants, including one to the Transportation Department for a project that she argued, quote, would directly produce 1,407 new jobs per year, while indirectly producing 1,563 a year, a total of 2,970 jobs each year after the project's completion. The project did not win the award.